Just like we were giving Grand Slam their flowers, man, we got to bash them because this is bad. This is horrible.
This is a PR nightmare, I think, for Grand Slam. I really want to see this succeed, but you got to be able to call a spade, man. This is terrible.
Melissa Jefferson-Wooden and Julien Alfred freaking battling, bro. That was tense. Oh my goodness. 1075 into a negative 1.6, dude. That's like a 1068. That was somebody refusing to lose. Like, I am going to win today.
Yeah, Kishane left them boys with no hope. Like, there wasn't a single second within that race where anyone had an opportunity to beat Kishane Thompson. He was dominant from step one to the final step. This has been a difficult season to watch for Christian Coleman. The drop-off that we've seen over the last few seasons, especially this one, it's not something that I expected, because remember, we were talking about Christian Coleman taking the crown from Usain Bolt after his retirement. That's the level of prospect that this guy was. I hate track and field announcers. I hate them. When Faith Kipyegon breaks the world record, the announcers couldn't have been less interested. They have no excitement. Like, bring something to the table. Welcome back. Another episode of Track World News Podcast. Your host, Colin Waitsman, here with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, blessed and highly favored, my boy. We had a legendary track meet going this weekend. We got some drama-filled week in the track world, man. But I'm feeling great, bro. How you feeling, my boy?
I'm feeling good. Always nice to have the extended weekend. Nice little time off. Body's finally recovered from last Sunday. I guess I might as well give y'all a little, let y'all know about this thing. First off, I just downloaded Strava. If anyone has that now, if you want to follow along with my bike riding and all of that, feel free to add Colin Waitsman on that. But bro, so I was riding for like 6 hours, right? 6-hour bike ride. My music died really early. So I was like just alone with my thoughts for 6 hours in like 90-degree heat. That turns something in your head when all you got to think about is just the pain in your legs and just like, oh, I still got 40 miles to go. Like, that is some tough stuff, man. It was hard. The first half was like only tough mentally, and like physically I was fine for the first 30 miles. That last 30 miles was brutal, both mentally and physically. And I ran out of water on mile 45. So I had the last like 15, 16 miles were no water. I found a kid that was selling waters in Philadelphia. I was like, yo, I need one, bro. I need one bad. But it was that was tough. Learned a lot. It was challenging, but a brutal ride. That's for sure.
Hey, man, hats off to you for doing that. That's a whole 35 miles further than I've ever biked in my life. That's immensely impressive. I think with this new statistic, you might put yourself in the S tier as far as media members being athletes. I think you're far ahead of Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless with that. So, hey, man, that's incredible, bro. I can only imagine how many days it took to get that soreness out of your legs, but you did it. You're still here. You're still with us.
Yeah, I made the bad decision of we did like karaoke and had a couple beverages that night. And then my body, but I was feeling good. Though, because I was like, yo, I all my other friends were hurting, but I was like, nah, we're straight. We're doing all right. But it was good. What are you saying?
So any like epiphanies there on that ride? You said your phone died, so you were alone with your thoughts for however long. Like, I can only imagine what you were thinking of at this time.
Yeah. So on the end of the ride, so I called my mom. I was like, because I had been alone. I was just been only thinking stuff for the last like probably what if it was 6 hours? Probably like 4 hours. I had about 2 hours left. And so I called my mom. I was just like, hey, and I was just about to run out of water here. I was like, hey, I'm calling you. And she's in Arizona at this point. She's 3 hours. She had no idea I was doing this. I just decided to do it. And I was like, I just need I'm on mile 40 or whatever it was of this 60-mile ride. I was like, I just needed to call you. And like she was originally like, oh, like, well, if you need to stop, you can stop. Like you're almost close to home. If you need to, like you can end it. I was like, no, mom. I didn't call you to tell me I needed to stop. I needed you to tell me, like, nah, keep going. Like, don't stop now. Like, I'm like, you got to change. Like, she's like, oh, okay. And like hung up and then called me back. It's like, I need you to keep moving. Like, there we go. And so yeah, she helped out a little bit, definitely. But like some of those epiphanies of just like, even when, because I thought that there was only one time where like I legitimately was like, I'm not gonna make it. That was 10 miles in. So 10 miles into the 60-mile race was like, yo, I'm already tired and I got 50 of these things left. Damn, like I'm not gonna make it. And then so it realized like you're gonna hit those obstacles really early on. And you're gonna still have so much more left in the tank. Because if I wanted to quit when I wanted to quit, I would have stopped 50 miles ahead of when I actually was able to complete. And so that's what I would say of like an epiphany is, or just a moment for people, anyone that's listening. Like, yo, your body's going to tell you to stop, or your mind's going to tell you to stop way before your body actually has to. And so you can accomplish some pretty amazing things if you don't listen to the thing in between your two ears every once in a while. So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing that I took away from last weekend.
Hey, Colin the Stoic. Can we get a good job, Colin, in the chat from everybody? Like, good job, Colin. Appreciate
it. Yeah.
That's good.
Maybe we'll have we'll turn one of the haters into hey, good work to you, man. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But enough bike talk. We can talk bikes next week, I'm sure. We had a lot of stuff going on in the track and field world. Prefontaine Classic getting started or happened this weekend. Massive. They had 12,000 some odd people that were there, and it was on the World Athletics rating as the most competitive single day track and field competition, scoring like over 91,000 points in their like competitiveness for how great those scores were. So overall, some great performances. Before we talk about specifics, anything that you noticed or just some comments on Prefontaine at all?
Oh, I noticed a whole lot during that meet, Colin. A whole lot of good, a whole lot of bad, and a whole lot of ugly in that meet. I mean, if I want to dive right in, the person that's on the front of my mind, pause, not in that way. The person that's in the front of my mind is regarding this meet would be Kishane Thompson, bro, in the 100-meter. I think going out there and beating that field, clearing that field the way he did, makes him a clear-cut favorite right now to win a world championship. Pre is like, maybe it's because we're in America, but Pre feels like the biggest Diamond League meet or the biggest meet that's not worlds every year. And like I said, maybe that's home soil bias, but Prefontaine just seems to be a big meet. And for Kishane to go there, knock Trayvon's head off, knock Christian's head off, knock Zarnell's head off. Everybody that was in that race is most of those people, 5, 6 of those people are in medal contention. So for Kishane to go do that after running at Jamaica Trials, man, he the guy right now in 100.
Yeah, Kishane left them boys with no hope. Like there wasn't a single second within that race where anyone had an opportunity to beat Kishane Thompson. He was dominant from step one to the final step of that entire race, which is something that going into the world championship is exactly where you want to see. Now, I will say, like, as you mentioned, he's coming off of the national championship that he had. And so he's in a different space, I'm sure, by a little bit training than some of the guys in the USA where, you know, Trayvon and Coleman and all them, like they're gearing up to have this initial peak at the end of the month where he just is coming off of it. So I'm sure still has a little bit of that peak running in him, but it was just like, it wasn't even close. It was pure dominance. And like I wouldn't be too surprised. Like for him, he's the favorite in my opinion right now to win this this 100 meters, because we haven't seen the defending champion yet. I mean, I'll be interested in a week or two when Noah makes his 100-meter debut, but
Yeah.
it was just pure dominance of this field, and a strong performance from Kishane.
So moving from great to another good performance was Zarnell Hughes. Zarnell closed very well. I think he was in fourth or fifth out of the block. He walked down Christian. He walked down Trayvon. That was a hell of a race. I think he finished in 9:91, which is a good time for Zarnell. Zarnell isn't necessarily like the heaviest of hitters. I don't think we look at him in that regard. But if you look at his track record, his medal history, he's definitely a contender. So for him to be gearing up and sharpening things up right around this time of the year, I think that's going to be telling moving forward. I think he's going to be another guy that we can mention in the breath with like a Simbine, a Connie Simbine, right? Like super elite, maybe not like the S tier A guy, but Zarnell had a hell of a race. Now going from good to great to just ugly, bro. What's going on with Christian, man? I mean, it was a season best, but did he get second to last? I think it was a 10:06 maybe.
Yeah, 10:06. It's
what did you see, man? What's going on there?
It's this has been a difficult situation. This has been a difficult season to watch for Christian Coleman, because the drop off that we've seen over the last few seasons, especially this one, is like remarkable, insane, wild, crazy, whatever the word is that you want to put in. It's not something that I expected, because remember, we were talking about Christian Coleman taking the crown from Usain Bolt after his retirement. That's the level of prospect that this guy was. He was like the LeBron-esque prospect coming out of like, yo, this is the next guy. He won that world championship. He's going to be taken over. He obviously was off the track for a few years, and he hasn't been the same since. And so for me, it's like wild to see this happen. Yes, you're in a new training group, and I'm sure being in a new training group is going to change things. You're competing in a different way, where you used to do indoor and you're no longer doing indoor, and so this is completely different practice or competition cycle. But it's like, I don't have any confidence when I see him racing right now, because like there's never been a race where I'm like, yeah, Coleman's going to win this, except for maybe in the beginning of the year before I knew like what we're going to see. And right now, I don't know if he even makes the final at USA's. He's 58th in the world and 18th in the country. That's not going to be giving me great confidence that you're going to be able to be top 8 in the nation when it matters the most. And if his name wasn't Christian Coleman, we would not be talking about him as an athlete right now, because he's running times that you don't talk about in track media. So I would love for him. Like, I want him to be a contender and I want him to show up. But if we're not going to see it at when are we going to see it, man? Like, you have one, maybe two more races until the big one. Are you going to be able to are you going to be in 9-8 shape, 9-9? Like, I don't think you're going to be 9-8 shape in 3 weeks from now, man. I don't know. It's not looking good for him.
So Christian, right? Ever since the day Christian popped on the scene, let's say 2017, when he was at Tennessee and won 100, 200 in college, we identified Christian with having the greatest start that we've seen. Statistically, when he worked with Ralph Mann, rest in peace, the late, great Ralph Mann, Justin Gatlin has like the best recorded start ever. Christian is right behind. He didn't even get out in the race. He hasn't done it once all year. He hasn't gapped the field in that first 8 meters of the race like we typically in every single Christian Coleman race. Obviously, the changing of coaching is doing something, but more than anything, I think as a fan and a 26-year-old track and field fan who was really, really interested in 27, Christian Coleman was like everything as far as American sprints. This before Noah Lyles really took over. This was kind of Trayvon Bromell at the end of Ryan Bailey's reign there. You know, Tyson Gay was on his way out. So it's like every young track and field fan, I can't speak for you, but for myself, man, and all my friends at the time, like it was Christian Coleman, Christian Coleman, Christian Coleman, Christian Coleman. So, you know, I know nobody puts more pressure on him than him. I'm sure nobody's a bigger critique on him than him. But just as a fan, man, it's just really, really disappointing. You know, I pray for him, and I hope he can get this together, get out of whatever funk or rut he's in. But, you know, I'm seeing no signs of this potentially turning around, especially like his training partner, Brandon Hickling, was in the race. And Brandon's fast, but he's not a guy that we, you know, think should be beating Christian by any means. And Brandon smoked Christian today. You know, I look at their block starts in practice. I see Courtney Lindsay smoking Christian, Kenny Bednarik smoking Christian. I see Christian battling with Brandon Stewart, and no smut to Brandon Stewart. He's a hell of an athlete, but Brandon Stewart isn't world championship contender like we look at Christian Coleman to be, man. So it's quite an anomaly right now. I don't like what I'm seeing, man, and you know, like I said, I just pray for something to change for him.
Yeah, it's been a tough year, and like the weird thing we've talked about with track is like the only thing that people care about really, for the good or for the bad, is like how you perform at the championship. And so, hey, if you put together a good race in that prelim of USA's, and that gives you that confidence of like, okay, I'm back, like I'm racing well, then maybe you can string together a few more. But like, it's gonna take luck right now to put it through. Like it's not feeling like oh yeah, you're an easy favorite to be on this for whatever reason. And like you said, there's no real part of the race that I'm feeling is redeemed right now. Like he's not getting out. Like if it was, oh, he's getting out on the group and then he's getting pulled back in, that'd be one thing. But it's like, no, you're even with everyone. You're not supposed to be even with everyone 10 meters in, man. You're supposed to be ahead. And so I hope that it changes, but I know track's obviously a very mental sport, and I'm sure he's feeling it mentally right now. And if I were him, shoot, I would just try to find some like small race that he's not going to be racing anyone, and just get a win and gap people. Like if I were him, I'd like find something to get your confidence up, like where you're not racing against all these crazy, like just race a bunch of freaking college kids, high schoolers. I don't care.
Will
Get a
that be
win.
safe? Is that safe?
Yeah, I guess like yeah, race someone that you know you're gonna win. Do some race where it's some small race where you're gonna get a win. Get some confidence going into USA's, because if this is gonna be your last race before USA's, like bro, that can't feel good. But yeah, I'd hope to see some changes too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, from one disappointing 100 meter on one side to another, rather disappointing 100 meter. I don't want to start with the bad, but I guess I'm going to start with the bad. Sha'Carri Richardson again, 11-19, bottom of the leaderboard. Really, same coach, you know, same training plan. I think they're dating. I don't really know what's going on with Sha'Carri. What is that?
Yeah. So I know right before the race, she like the day before, like in all of the press conference stuff, she said that she had an injury in February, which you know, it's nice to be able to get a little bit of transparency on these sorts of things. Like I think that's one of the things of track and field that annoys me a lot, of where in football, like I know if Patrick Mahomes has an injury, and I know exactly what the injury is, and I know exactly when he's coming back. He's like, okay, Patrick Mahomes has a shoulder injury. He's going to be back in week 6. Okay, perfect. In track and field, people just disappear. Like you have no idea where people are going to be until they tell you, if they tell you. Like you may never know if like Sha'Carri didn't have to tell us she was injured. We could have never known that she had an injury, because no one's going to make her report it. But I appreciate that she let us know. And so it was the race wasn't good. And so I know that, you know, you're battling those injuries. You've had now 2 fairly poor races. But what I will say is she looked to be in very high spirits at the end of the race. She was like, I'm happy that I finished healthy and that I was just able to race, which, like, I guess there's some positives to that, but just like with Coleman, she never looked like she was ever in the race. The race was over by the time it started for Sha'Carri, and so that's not boding confidence in me going into the World Championships. Obviously, she's lucky that she has the bye, so she's on a different kind of training cycle, which I'm sure is probably also why she can have that not as great performances, because unlike Christian Coleman right now, she doesn't have to perform well in a month. She has to wait until September. So she still has all of June, July, August, 2.5 months, until she actually has to perform something. So she doesn't have as much pressure right now, but it looked very 2021 Prefontaine-esque when she was racing the Jamaicans and Elaine did what Elaine did, but it didn't look good, but luckily she has a little bit more time than everyone else.
Yeah, bro, I don't like what I'm seeing from her at all. I texted in the group chat, no pop, no juice, no nothing. As you said, it was basically over when it started. She was fighting for last. Now, on the other hand, the good part of that race, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden and Julien Alfred freaking battling, bro. That was tense. Oh, my goodness. 1075. Listen, 1075 is remarkable. 1075 into a negative 1.6, dude. That's like a 1068, 1067. That was incredible, bro. That was somebody refusing to lose. Like, I am going to win today. Julien tried everything. I think Julien was bar none, hands down, the favorite. I picked Julien to win this race yesterday. And for Melissa to say, nah, bump that. I got her, y'all. Yo, that was incredible. Graceful runner, man. Just a dope person. I think we're learning a little bit more about Melissa now that she's being more in the light. But, man, I guess we have a hell of a World Championships coming up, assuming that Julien and Melissa stay healthy and both of them make their respective teams. Yeah, man, that got me going. That 1-2 got me going, man.
To go back to what you said earlier before we even started talking about Pre, of where you're like, yeah, Pre just feels like the preemptive race in the world stage regular season. I'd say, yeah, like, because look, we have the podium for the 100 meters that is coming back here. Like, you're getting a rematch of that big race that we had seen not too long ago at the Olympics, and it delivered for the most part. I mean, 2 out of 3 coming in the top 2, and that Julien Alfred, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden race was like, that was incredible. And like you said, it was just I'm winning this race. She is more dominant than anyone right now in that race. And we've seen Julien Alfred has had a fantastic season as well. Like, she's been very, very powerful, but Melissa's still undefeated in the 100 and dropping world leading times. And it's just like you said, just a great individual as well. Like, she's always been super nice, super kind. Like, whenever I've seen her at track meets, always really approachable and someone that's willing to interact with the media much longer than you would have to as well. Like, she does, for how talented and good she doesn't have to speak to us for as long as she does, and she does anyway. And so it's it was a good performance, a really strong one. And like you said, into a headwind like that. And I was seeing, like, looking at calculators, imagine if it was a +2 wind, that would have been like a 10.5. It was like 10.5.
Hey, chill.
If you get a +2 headwind into that, like, bro, that is insane. Like, I wish that Melissa got more love than she's getting right now. Of, like, I wish she was like one of the big stars. Time will tell if she gets this world championship. Maybe that'll put her, she'll get closer to that. But I wish she was like one of those closer to household names, like in the Noah Lyles, Sha'Carri Richardson, Sydney McLaughlin, I guess you could even add in there, kind of tiers of where people know. And hopefully if she gets a world championship here, maybe that elevates her a little bit. But yeah, no, it was a great race.
Incredible race, bro. Definitely one of my two favorite performances. I don't want to jump around too much, but I do want to go to my next favorite performance. Was the men's 400 hurdle with Alison Dos Santos coming in 46.6, walking down Rai Benjamin on that last 100. That was tense. That was two warriors, two of the three greatest ever at the event, going head to head like that. And that was my favorite race. They kicked off the meet with that, and man, that got me excited for Worlds. Like, holy shit, can Allison go win a world championship? Like, how does Rai respond? I think there's like four storylines that did this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like four different storylines that occur from this, but from a competitive standpoint, that was so tense, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah, it was especially given that the last time that Rai lost a 400-meter hurdle race was Prefontaine in 2023. So he had gone a long time of undefeated in the 400 hurdles. And so for it to then be ended at Prefontaine in 2025 by, I think the guy that beat him last time, did Allison beat him in 2023? Or was it Warhol?
If it were anybody, it would have been Allison, because I think Carson was hurt that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I think it might have been him. So it's like impressive finishing, and just like it's great to always see their head to head. Like they're always putting on a show. Like I wouldn't say it's fatigue, but I want someone else to be able to get in the mix here, man. Like it's great that we have the three greatest 400-meter hurdlers of all time that are competing 100%. But like, I want, like, it's like no one's even even close to being where they're at right now. Like, I want to see where somebody now. Yes, Trevor Bassett beat Alison Dos Santos, but I'd love to see it be a little more competitive. You got some. What do you got? Who's being competitive in this 400 hurdle? No,
I'll tell you right now that USA's, you're going to see some shit that you didn't expect from Caleb Dean. I'll tell you that right now. I get to see Caleb Dean train every day, and he trains with Alison Dos Santos. I see some shit daily from this kid. Now, I think his early season was a little rough. He had problems hitting hurdles and stuff, and I don't think he had the performances yet. But I think that we're going to be breaking up the monotony very soon with Caleb Dean in this 400 hurdles. I'm giving this, bro, and I don't need to, but I am. Caleb Dean is going to mix some shit up. If that's, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, I hope so. Like I hope so, because it's like I want to see someone like break up that podium or break up that, who we always see going up in the top ranks. So if it's Caleb Dean, go ahead, man. Like, yeah, I love to see that. Like let's get some new blood in there that's going to shake things up. And then I mean, I think if we were able to send a team of Rai, Bassett, Dean, I think that would be a strong team for the 400 hurdles. But it's yeah, those two going head to head. It was a solid race. Finished out strong. What I'm thinking back to the Olympics in 2021, or just other races that I've remembered. Those close races with Rai has not ended up on top from what I'm thinking. Like, because remember in 2021 at the Olympics, the last hurdle, it was him and Warholm. They were neck and neck, and he didn't take the win. Here again, neck and neck with Alison Dos Santos. Dos Santos takes the win. And so it makes me think, if it's a close race, is it not going to be going in Rai's favor? Because that's what we've seen a few times now. And so it makes you wonder, like, all right, is Rai only winning these races that are blowouts, or he has some leeway going into it? Or am I just misremembering that, hey, maybe there are some other close races that he might have came out on top? But I don't know, something I was thinking of at the end of that race.
You might not be too far off. I remember the 300 hurdle they just ran last month. It was a close race, and Carson ended up stealing the win from him. So, you might be onto something there. I think Rai is interesting because when you look at him from like a physical specimen standpoint, it's like, oh, holy shit, who is this guy? It kind of looks differently than everybody else. But the expectations that we have for him are almost perfect or almost like be flawless every single time he step on the track, which, you know, due to his performances, I guess it makes sense, but it's still not fair to him. But Rai, I in no way would like to slight Rai, but I think there's something there with what you just said as far as that close race goes. I didn't like how he finished. I mean, 46.7 is a hell of a time, but obviously it wasn't good enough to win. And for your opponent, one of your biggest rivals, to be able to close a gap on you coming from the outside like that off of the final turn, that doesn't bode well for him at all. Hopefully that's something to motivate him a little bit more. I was reading his Instagram caption after the race. It was kind of more so like, you know, yeah, well, you know, that's kind of the mood that I got from it. Less of a like, oh, this motherfucker's never going to beat me again. It was more of like, I tip my cap to you, you know, which is, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's wired differently. I'm not going to say that makes him soft or anything like that, but it was just something that I noticed. You know, I would be interested to see how he takes this loss and moves forward.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Yeah, what's the response going to be? Because he's not going to see him probably until the World Championship final, like most likely, like unless they're going to run some other Diamond League, but most likely not gonna see him. So, one other performance that I was probably one of my top ones in the men's 200. Letsile Tebogo dropping a 1976. Also, just ripping the hearts out of everyone in that race, dropping a world lead by a lot. Like the previous world lead was like 1986 or whatever, I think it was, by Kenny, and he dropped a 76 on their heads. I know he struggled in the beginning of this year. Like he had some terrible times to start off the season, like god awful times. And this seems like the beginning of this new leaf as he's getting ready to ramp up into the world championships. But and he even slowed down like towards the end there into that 76. Like, how'd you take that performance from Tebogo?
That boy is cold as hell. As you said, he kind of had a weird beginning of the season. He spoke on having some injury problems, but the times were dog shit. And then to turn it around and go 19.7 just on a whim, flying out to Oregon from Africa. I think that's another thing that kind of works in his favor. Like, that's fucking crazy that he did that. 1976. Was I surprised? No, absolutely not. I think we all expected him to win. I thought it was going to be like a 1982 race, 86 race, but it was good weather. There were fast times all day. So that 1976, I think he'll run faster at Worlds. I think he'll probably be in the 19.5, 19.4 range at Worlds. To me, I mean, something that really caught my attention was Courtney Lindsay in 1987. Top American guy finishing there. I think now he throws his hat and his name into the mix there for the World Championships. Like, hey, can he beat Ariane? We don't really know what his status is with the drug thing. You know, can he beat his training partner? You know, there's a lot of things that are of Courtney Lindsay. I'm excited for him. Obviously, Alexander Ogando, another one dipping under 20 seconds in that race. That race was like everything. There was a lot that went on in that race. Obviously, I wanted my boy Jareem to win. He closed well. He didn't run the best time, but he closed well. But nonetheless, man, Letsile Tebogo dropping bombs, letting these guys know who's who right now.
Yeah, like he's putting the world right now on notice of all these races. I think the last week has been the last 2 weeks within track and field has just been very impressive. And I mean, I'm like, I'll take it to like a little off the track here a bit, but like I'm wondering what Noah's seen. Like Noah's watching these times happen, and he's not in any of these races right now. Whether it's the training, the injury, whatever it is, he's not in them. And so I'm so curious as to like what's going on in the head when you're the world champion in the 100, the world champion in the 200, the Olympic champion in the 100 meters, and you're watching people drop these 9.75s, 19.76s. You're seeing this happen. And then they come to home soil on the track that you ran your American record on, and you're watching these happen. That's got to be hard as just an athlete to be able to be like, damn, like, like you're thinking, oh, I'm better than all these people, and I'm watching this happen on my soil, on US soil. Like that's got to be that's got to be tough as a competitor to be going through. Hey, is he watching these too? I don't know. It's so just interesting. See.
If anybody in the world is at their house on the weekend watching track and field, it is Noah Lyles. He will watch Carifta championships. He will watch New Balance Grand Prix. He will watch every track meet available every weekend. So I know he watched this. I know he's motivated by it. I know he's excited to get back on the track and drop his bomb. I think Noah really does garner the attention, and he loves it. He feeds off the attention. So I'm sure he can't wait to get to Monaco or London, wherever it is that he is opening up, to put his name back in that hat too. So I know he's motivated. Now, I'm staying with this 200 here because I'm looking at the result list. And this is a little bit of Noah hate, just a touch, not Noah Lyles, Noah Williams hate. I see Kyrie King in so many races, bro. I see Kyrie King at like every Diamond League. I see him all the time. Like every weekend he's racing somewhere, whether it's 100 or the 200. And it's been years. It's been years. Kyrie's a little bit older than me. It's been years. I've never seen him win, ever, once. I've never seen him get second. I've never seen him get third. I don't understand it. Like, now, let me preface a little bit of this hate here. Last year, right, Kendall Williams beats Kyrie King in the 100 at Charles. And Kyrie King was selected on the relay team over Kendall Williams. Now, Kendall's my dog. That's my training partner. So now it's a little personal now. You know what I mean? So, furthermore, I'm watching all these Kyrie King races, 9th place, 8th place, 8th place, 7th place, 6th place. I mean, I don't know if there's space to really talk about him in such an elite field, but I see his name at the bottom of the leaderboard again, and I just can't believe that he gets all these opportunities that he does, and squanders them like every time. Maybe he's just not capable of running that fast, but I just had to let that out. Like, you're at the bottom of every leaderboard every week, every meet that you go to. You're 6 through 8 every time. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, how do you keep getting, like, how?
What's his I'm guessing you have his World Athletics page open.
I can open it, yeah.
I thought you might have had it. I was curious. So what's his personal best? Like, I'm wondering, what is he like? Does he have is there a sneaky time that he had like early on in his career that I'm just not thinking of?
He ran a 996 in 2022.
996. Okay, so not like a good
special
time. Yeah, a good time, but it's not like, oh yeah, I ran a 981, at one point. So I'd be wondering, like, hey, his agent doing some good work then. Like, whoever that agent is got to be, getting some good lane draws there.
His agent is freaking Tony Montana getting him into these races, bro.
Yeah, it's like, hey, he's putting up that he's available and getting in these lanes and getting lanes in races. But yeah, he's someone that I've seen around for a while, but haven't seen towards the top in a long time, really.
Ever, Colin. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I don't mean to just like put blatant hate on this, but even when he was at Oregon, I never saw him win at Oregon. I never did. I think, what was he born? 1996. I've never seen Kyrie King win a race, not one. I see he was a NACAC champion. I'm not sure if that was a relay or an open event, but that probably would have been around 2016, 2017. So I was probably a little bit young to even know or remember. But yeah, man, the opportunities that this guy gets, I think maybe because of his coach, Dennis Mitchell, he is in that training group. He is with Nike. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to get some races, but I don't know. That's compiling disappointing performances week in and week out. I think Kyrie King is one of the best at
it. Hey, find a way to get in the race, man. Get your cash, get your money. I guess
that's so from the competitor standpoint of it, because I'm in the sport, I respect it. Like, I would love to race every single weekend and make some sort of money. I mean, I don't know how much you're making a night, but to have the opportunity to make money every weekend, it's, obviously something that we all want. So cheers to him for that. Kudos to him for that. But to keep seeing him in these races with blue or green or Dennis Rodman hair, I think I've had about enough of it.
All right, Noah's weekly hating is presented by. We got to get a presenting partner for Noah's weekly.
So we have the international athlete of the week and just the international hate of the week.
International hate of the week. Yeah, it's find a way to get in them lanes, man. It's tough, especially when there's only 9 of them. Like, and people can pick 9 or 8, and people can pick really anyone and find a way to get in a lot of these. Like, hey, your agent's doing God's work, man. So make sure you're giving him an extra 1% at the end of the year while you're at it. So there was one thing that wasn't a performance in Prefontaine that I wanted to talk about. That this is my, I guess you could say, hate of the week and what annoys me. If you follow me on Twitter, C_weights28, you could have probably seen this. I hate track and field announcers. I hate them. Like, so to preface, I don't listen or watch track with announcers on. I haven't for a long time because it's so bad. Like, it's so terrible. I don't listen to them. And for some reason, I don't know why, I made the decision to listen with the announcers today. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens. And so I put on with the announcers, and the race that I'm thinking of in particular. Now, you could go across all of the races, but the race I'm thinking of in particular is the women's 1500 when Faith Kipyegon breaks the world record in that race. The announcers couldn't have been less interested. It was such a terrible thing to watch. You just saw someone break a world record. They're like, "Oh, Faith Kipyegon, new world record. Isn't that something?" All right, now that's it for track and field here. Have a good one, folks. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, just pull up that race and then watch and listen to their commentary, and then just pull up Mike Breen highlights and tell me what you're hearing from them. It's like we're going bang, like going crazy, like watching these things, bringing excitement. It's so annoying that, like, one, it's the same people that are these announcers, and they're just as annoying, or they're just as not good as they've always been. And so, like, that's what gets me annoyed. There's some people that do a good job, but a lot of them are just so annoying. Like, they have no excitement. Like, bring something to the table. Like, if we're, as commentators and as members of the media, our job is to make the sport of track and field more exciting to watch and more exciting for people to consume and be able to look at. So if you're an announcer at a track meet, you have to make that track meet the most exciting thing to watch, and bring, like, show people how they're supposed to react when they hear these performances. As a track and field podcast here, our job is to bring commentary for you that's interesting and exciting, so that you're now looking forward to watching that next race, or you're going to go back and listen to it, or you're going to comment something to get you interested. That's what our job is. And so, to bring that entertainment factor, there's no entertainment factor right now in the announcing pool. And it's just like, why aren't we getting excited? Why aren't we, shouting at the top of our lungs, "Holy crap, did you just see what happened?" Like, there's none of that right now. And it's been that way for years. That's why I stopped listening to commentators. And so I'm going back. I'm no longer listening to audio. It's just going to be straight track and field from here on out again. Fool me once, shame on me. Thing is, we can't get fooled again. So we're done with that. That's my soapbox for the day.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm going to double down on my hatred this weekend. I was watching this meet, and I had I had it on low. It was on, so I could hear auto bullets, I guess. But if you ever played like an old Madden, like a PS2 Madden, and they only select so much commentary for the amount of things that could happen in the game. So let's say you 90 pick 6, and the commentary just might say, "Oh, good play by the defense." That's how it seems. I was listening to Otto Bolton speak on the 200-meter world lead. This was like a copy paste from him covering my world lead from 2021 on the video. Like, I was like, holy shit, I just had the craziest flashback ever. It's literally like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. No enthusiasm. I was watching the 400 hurdles right here in this chair, watching on my iPad. And as Alison was closing, I stood up and was screaming in this room at my iPad. He's going to walk him down. Holy shit, he's going to walk him down. Like, that's true excitement because there's so many exciting things that happen during a track meet. Like, I don't know, maybe because Otto Bolden just seen so much track and he's just numb to it, but I don't know how they're in the containing themselves when you have a complete shocker of a race with Melissa Jefferson beating the Olympic champion. Like, they're still focused on Sha'Carri midway. Oh, Sha'Carri should. Let's focus on the shit that's exciting right now. Like, I'm geeked up at home watching, and the commentator is like bringing my vibe down. Like, this isn't a golf match. We're supposed to be excited. It's track. It's the purest human form of exercise. Like, come on, let's get fired up. Turn it into a hockey match.
I'm exactly where you're at, man. Like, it's just like I don't feel the excitement. The last time that I felt the excitement was the NCAA championship when RG3 was the commentator, because we had somebody that's a real commentator that knows how to bring excitement to a sport, like RG3 when he would do it for college football, when he would do it for the NFL, when he would do it for all of those things. He knows how to bring the excitement to a broadcast. That was the last time that I was like, oh, this is good. He's bringing Nick. He's like, what in the Famboulet is happening? Like, Matthew White Lightning Bolding. Like, he's bringing these like fun things. Nobody's bringing any of this to commentary. Like, still the only like ever like there's no like calls that you go back to in track and field. Like, oh yeah, this was a great line. Like, you can go think in basketball and baseball where there's all these great one-liners from members of the media and that are commentating. That's not a thing in our sport, and so it's upsetting.
I can think of a one-liner that is copy paste of every single 400, every single 400 every week. Oh, insert name here, got out like a shot. Insert got out like a shot. It sucks. That sucks.
Got out like a shot. Yeah, it's annoying. I don't like it, and I need us to do better with getting more exciting people to announce. So hopefully we do that. There's some good young commentators out there. First, I'd say Caitlin Hutchinson. If you're watching, Kate, she does great. I've seen her, and she's done some stuff. Serenity Douglas as well. Some of my friends. But hopefully. Get me in there. I'll give you some excitement, but it's just bad. It's not.
They don't want to get me in there, bro. I have no place. Too many cuss words gonna come out on accident. Like, oh shit! I can't be on NBC.
Yeah.
You can't trust me.
The broadcast, they're gonna be like, so Noah is no longer on the broadcast. We're down to a 2-man team after he said, "Oh shit, that's crazy" for the 5th time.
These N-words are crazy. Like,
yeah.
Noah, that's enough from you, brother.
Yeah, we're done for that. But to pivot a little bit, I know there's some hot water going on within the track and field world. So if you've been living under a rock, Grand Slam track, which has been, I will also preface, in case for anyone that's new to the show, I've been a huge supporter of Grand Slam track. Both of us actually have spoken extraordinarily highly of the meet and how we're excited for the new opportunities that it's bringing to the sport of track and field. These regular season races there have been more excitement in these regular season Grand Slam races than almost any other race that we had seen. And we talked very highly of it. A lot of our biggest videos and biggest moments have been of Grand Slam track and field. But as of recently, they've gotten in some hot water. There's been a lot of reports saying how there's still near either $12.8 or $13 million worth of prize money that has gone unpaid to athletes. We saw recently on social media where they posted a video of Gabby Thomas, and Gabby Thomas was like, LOL, that's so cool. Pay me, please. And it's starting to unravel, like not just within track media, but in sports media, Front Office Sports is reporting on this, ESPN's reporting on this, and it's not a good look. Every single post that they have on social media, you can find at least one comment of somebody talking about pay your athletes. It's not great from a PR perspective, especially one that said they were super athlete focused. But I mean, what have you kind of seen from this unraveling right now of Grand Slam?
Well, first, Colin, this is a huge disappointment. Like you said, we both were praising Michael Johnson and saying this is the best thing since Lord knows what, and I thought that this was such a good opportunity for people like myself. But anyways, I had one of my sources give me some information, and that number that you said is it's about $12.8 million to distribute. And, word on the street, Grand Slam was a scam. There's nothing coming for next year. Like I said, the $12.8 million, then there's a chance they file for bankruptcy to avoid any lawsuits coming from the athletes. They're saying that the money's supposed to be coming at the end of the summer, but the climate of the situation seems like that's just kind of a ploy or a plot to buy themselves more time to scramble and do whatever they got to do legally. So I had one of my sources hit me with that. I'm just relaying the information to you guys. So it's just nasty business, man. It's so shady and crooked and whack and lame and just we don't deserve that, man. Like especially as an athlete, let's say a guy like Eric Edwards, right? He's an athlete that doesn't have a sponsor. I think we all know that if you know Eric. But he was I think he was in all three of the Grand Slams, and he was able to place maybe fifth, fourth, sixth. And with the money that they were promoting, that's probably $25,000, $35,000, somewhere in that range. And that's enough for him to pay rent for a year, probably pay his car note, car insurance, and eat and support himself so he can get back on the track and train and focus on what he loves. So now you're promising these opportunities for these guys, and then for you to not come through, it's just got to be, gut wrenching for the people that are actually owed money, or people like Cindy McLaughlin and Gabby Thomas, Kenny Bednarik being the headliners for this, really taking a big sacrifice on their season, knowing the risk involved. Oh, I'm going to have to run 2 races a weekend for 4 weekends before championships. Like I could be putting myself in a bad place. And now, everything that I did it for, being the money, probably $100K appearance fee, $100K to win, I don't get to see any of it. So now I just wasted my time. I helped you promote this shit product, and I don't see anything from it. It's absolute bogus. It's bullshit. I wish it didn't happen. And just like we were giving Grand Slam their flowers, man, we gotta bash them because this is bad. This is horrible.
Yeah, this is a PR nightmare, I think, for Grand Slam, and it's unfortunate because while it seems you know a lot of athletes from in your group, as well as I'm sure your friends that competed in this. I know a lot of people that work with them and work for them, and like they're great people. Like some of my closest friends within the track and field media space are within this Grand Slam opportunity. I had an opportunity at one point to potentially be working alongside very closely, and even within Grand Slam Philadelphia, like I helped them out with a few things when they were here in my city with some stuff. And so I really want to see this like succeed, but you got to be able to call a spade, man. This is terrible. Like this is really, really bad to look at from a couple things. For this year, it's bad because you're having athletes that are publicly bashing you. When you have your star athlete, Gabby Thomas, one of your biggest names, publicly bashing you, that is terrible for you and your organization to look at. And I mean, it really has started since they announced they were going from 3 days to 2 days. Like it's just been a downward spiral since then of, hey, we're going from a 3-day meet to a 2-day meet. Everyone said, oh, that's good. That's probably really great for business. Maybe it was just some of the writing on the wall that we didn't notice of, I mean, hey, your sponsors are seeing are getting less viewage, or, less eyeballs on their product. There's less tickets that are out there to potentially be sold for it. And then you go from 3 days to 2 days, and then from 2 days to, we're just taking away the entire last slam. Then now people aren't getting paid. And so it's a bad PR look for them. And then to look into next year, who do you think is going to have confidence in going into this competition next year? Like, you think you're going to be able to get a Noah Lyles now, a Rai Benjamin, a Grant Holloway? Those guys may have very well been like, if this goes well, there's a strong possibility I do this next year. You're never going to get any of these big names now because of how poorly this has been divulged. Now, yes, I will say, and I'm sure you could probably put some more into it, of it's not abnormal for athletes to get paid even a year later for their competition in track and field. Like, it's a fairly normal thing. So like the time frame of a normal track meet, this isn't a ridiculous amount of time. But what is ridiculous is when you prompt yourself on, we're going to be athlete first, and we're going to do all of these things, and we're going to get people paid swiftly, and then you don't. It's a challenge for people, and it looks really bad. I personally wouldn't be posting anything on social media if I was Grand Slam until we can come out with an announcement saying this is the timeline of everyone getting paid. Of saying, all right, so we're going to go dark for the next 2-3 weeks. We're going to find out when are we paying everyone, and announce that, and then you can commence on posting things on social media, because it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good.
It looks horrible, bro. And the biggest disappointing thing to me is who is Grand Slam track. And for me, maybe somebody else is different, but every time I think of Grand Slam track, I directly associate Michael Johnson. Johnson to me is the GOAT. I run the 400. Michael Johnson ran the 4 and broke barriers and changed the game of track and field. The gold spikes, he had all the aura in the world. I watched so much Michael Johnson film, is sickening. So for somebody like that I think every American track and field athlete looks up to in one way or another, for it to be him behind the curtain, him being a big headliner for this, and this being his shit, it looks so terrible. Like, if he can't get this shit done, like, who can? We got to bring the Saudis in, like, like it's bigger than just Grand Slam track and they not paying. I think that kind of speaks volumes on a larger scale as to if this type of business model, if we want to keep growing this shit, what would it look like? And I think that was a very telling answer. We all hope that this would boom. We all hope that this would take off and be the most successful thing since the NFL. You know what I mean? But obviously that's just not the case. I wish the best for all the athletes. I hope everybody gets their money. I hope everything sorts itself out. But the way that it's trending right now, I am of the belief that Grand Slam was a scam. Grand Slam didn't have the money up front to pay their athletes. Grand Slam was a very ragtag business model that wasn't secure, and they didn't have a legitimate plan in the works. And it's gonna be a lot of turmoil from that.
Yeah, I think there's three potential opportunity reasons why we are where we are for Grand Slam. One, it could be they never had, like what you're saying. Hey, it was a scam. They never had any of their stuff to begin with, and it never worked out. That's one potential way of, I think, things could go. I think then there's another one of something happened with the business, or something happened with a sponsor or something, where they lost a lot of funding out of nowhere. And I think, because there's the three ways that it could go. One would be of ignorance. Another one would be of a disaster, or some sort of emergency. And then the last one would be of malice. So what you're saying, like, hey, it could be of malice, where they're just like, they knew they didn't have this money, they knew they didn't do it, but they went forth anyway. The other one could be that something happened financially. They lost a big sponsor, they lost something, and now can no longer pay their athletes because of something that they had received. And then the last one I had mentioned would be of just ignorance of where they thought they would have the money for this year, but never did. And they thought, oh yeah, we'll make it up in this ticket sales, the sponsorship, whatever. And then they never did, and was just ignorant that they're starting this league before they had enough money to fund. Because in my opinion, you have to be an absolute idiot, dumbest businessman ever to have a startup business that you don't have enough money to fund one full season without earning anything. If you can't start a business, like for example, if I were to do, now this is no breaking news because I'm not, but if I were to do like Track World News full time, like if I was like, you know what, I'm no longer doing my regular job, I'm only doing Track World News full time, I'd feel like I have to have a certain amount of money in my pocket to be like, all right, like if I don't earn anything for the next 6 months, could I live? If I don't earn anything for the next year, would I be okay? I'm sure it's a similar thing that you might have had. I mean, you're at a much different position, but you might have thought of between staying in college and going pro of like, hey, if I don't do what I want to do, if everything goes terribly, will I still be okay? That's what I guess they never asked that question to themselves. Or what I think happened, there had to be some sort of financial disaster, because I think it has to be foolish where you can't even pay half of your bills. There's no way. There's no way. They knew exactly how much money they had to pay out. You're telling me you can't pay half of your bills? Like that's screaming to me something had to have happened, because it's ridiculous. That's insane to be in this position.
Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head, bro. Look, I gave you guys my long-winded take on this. I just really hope that one way, shape, or another, even if this league folds and we never get it again, I just hope that everybody that competed in those 3 meets gets their due. Every appearance fee, every prize dollar, everybody gets their due. I think Aaron Brown made a funny ass tweet, but if you look at the storyline from each Grand Slam, they're all fucking hilarious. First one was in Kingston. I think the storyline from that was empty bleachers. Nobody was there. I think that was fair. The second headline there was in Miami or Miramar. It wasn't actually Miami. It was Miramar, Florida. 2 different places. But the storyline for that was Fred gets arrested at the meet. And Philly, I mean, what would you say the headline for Philly was?
There's a lot of the Gabby Thomas.
The heckler, Mr. 100K a day.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Grand Slam storyline for 2025. I think obviously Kenny Bednarik had great performances, and Gabby did, Jefferson
did really well.
Yeah, of course. There were tons of great performances, but the stories, man, and the nonsense that was going around this meet were just,
it was international news. Like it was on Good Morning America. Like it was obviously the biggest part of it.
Right.
And then the storyline from LA was that it didn't happen. So it's tough, and I hope that there is it bounces back, because once again, like I was one of the biggest proponents of this Grand Slam track. Like still, like they did the product on the track was great. Like they did really well with what you're consuming as a viewer. Like they did a great job. Clearly the business model needed to be revamped, and it wasn't what it needed to be. I still think the way that they do ticket sales is archaic, and they need to get better at that. And it seems like sponsorship, same as well. Like their sales team needs to be developed, but it's upsetting that we're having this conversation right now. I would have loved to be having hey, where do you think are the top 4 places that Grand Slam goes next year? Which athletes are going to be the biggest free agent polls that could potentially be coming to Grand Slam next season? Like that's what I wish I could be talking about right now, instead of talking about is it possible that these athletes are going to get paid? Like that's not the conversation I want to be having, because I mean, I'm sure even though they're rivals, I'm sure this doesn't help Athlos. as they're trying to go and get sponsors. Now I know like for Alexis Ohanian, obviously he's a billionaire from outside of the sport of track and field, but I'm sure when other sponsors are going to be like, all right, let's take a look at other startup leagues and how they've done. Oh, it went absolutely terribly, just like every other one in the history of startup sports of track and field in this nation. Oh yeah, I'm confident that this is going to work. Let me give you money. Like, I'm a lot more cautious now of what's going on, and it's just not great, not good.
Not good at all, bro. Not good at all. Yeah.
Hopefully it turns around. We'll have to see, but overall, not good stuff. I guess. No, did you have your? I know we're complete different thing, but your international athlete of the week. What do we got here?
None other than this week's international athlete of the week. We got Melissa Jefferson-Wooden taking down the Olympic champion in the 100 meter in 10.75 into a negative 1.6 headwind. I dropped it off at the Star Athletics track this morning at 6 a.m. Gonna be there ready for her tomorrow. Congrats to her for an incredible performance, man. I think the world is behind her. I think we're all really excited for what she's going to do at the World Championships, albeit that she makes the team and gets there healthily. So, yeah, shout out to Melissa, man. That was an incredible performance this week. Keep it up. I think that was her first one.
I thought
Or
she
maybe
got
second
it
one.
from. Yeah, I was gonna say, is she 2-time or 3-time? Because I thought she got it from Philadelphia Grand Slam when she after that. So she might be on 2, going for the first three-peat next in a couple weeks. Who knows? That might be big.
Yeah, so shout out to her, man. She's doing her thing, man.
There you go. Well, it's been another episode, Track World News Podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Have a good one. Peace.